and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. I'm Adrian, and Kiwi is my parrot. You will probably hear him chirping in the back. He may even land on the camera, and you might see some bird toes. Um, anyways, for this yarn review, I'm going to be reviewing Premier's new Candy Shop Cotton. But the first portion of this video, I'm going to be recording through StreamYard so that I can show you guys the screen, the actual website, because they do have it available in, I think, 6 different colors. However, I only have one of those colors. So I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to eventually turn the camera around and work a couple of rows up. We're going to see how it works up. We're going to, use 2 different hook sizes, and we're going to see what kind of a drape it's got. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. I will link in the description box below where you can get this yarn. It's fairly new to the Premier website. So let me just share this screen. And I'm going to make this bigger. Maybe I can do it that way. That looks okay, right? So here is the Premier Candy Shop Cotton. 147 yards. I know it's a bulky weight 5. This is what it looks like crocheted up. This colorway is called Blue Raspberry. This is what it looks like in a cake. And then this is what it looks like knitted. I really like that Premier has added both a knit and a crochet swatch to show their colors, because we all know that depending on whether or not you're knitting or crocheting, it's going to look a little bit different. This one is called Berry Burst. And I think this is actually the color that I have. Nope, it's not. This colorway is called Berry Burst. This is what it looks like crocheted up. And this is what it looks like knitted. And then we have Strawberry Lemonade. I like this one, but it isn't the one that I got. This is what it looks like crocheted. And then this is what it looks like knitted. I wish I could knit, because I really feel like this, just based off of having felt it, I haven't worked with it yet, but based off of having felt it, I feel like it would be a better knitted, like a yarn better for knitting than what it would be for crocheting. Crocheting tends to make a thicker fabric than what knitting does, and so it really makes me wish I could knit. The next color we have is Licorice. I don't really care much for this colorway at all. But this is the crochet swatch. And then here is the knitted swatch. Again, I like the knit swatch better than I like the crochet swatch. I'm not really sure why that is, but for some reason with this particular yarn, I just really like the knit better than I like the crochet. Now, this one is called Sour Splash, and this is the colorway that I currently have. This is what it looks like crocheted up. And then this is what it looks like knitted. Again, I cannot help but to like the knitted version better than the crocheted version. However, today I will only be, like I said, I don't know how to knit, so we'll only be able to crochet a swatch up. And these are just double crochets, so maybe it will look different if I do a couple of rows of single crochet, um, something of that nature. Maybe it'll look different with a half double crochet, but these look like double crochets to me. So the last color is called Grape Fizz, and I did really like this colorway as well. I'm not sure how I feel about that bright blue in there though, and this bright yellow. Um, but here is the crocheted swatch, and then again the knitted one. When I look at the swatches, it makes me wish I could knit, because this particular yarn to me, when I look at it, it looks better knitted than it does crocheted. So I'm going to go ahead and read over the specs for this yarn. It is a bulky weight 5, 85% recycled cotton, and 15% polyester. Yeah, polyester. Machine wash on warm, lay flat to dry, iron on low, do not bleach. It calls for a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and a 5.5 millimeter knitting needle. Again, you get 147 yards per cake, and they have 6 colors available. I'm sure if this yarn really takes off, it they'll probably offer it in some other colors. It does already have 3 reviews. All of them are 5-star reviews. Here is a bag that somebody made using I'm not sure which colorway that is, but I don't remember. Maybe it was the blue raspberry. But here is one of the reviews. It's a cute little bag. I like these little. I don't know what these are, but they're cute. She does say that she wishes the yarn came in solid colors. And then this person says she's making a blanket with it. And then this person said that they were making a hat or a beanie. A lot of people, out of these 3 comments, it does look like they seem to like how strong the cotton is. It says perfect for bags, but wouldn't recommend it for garments, but would recommend it for hats, for a bucket hat. So those are the reviews. They haven't gotten too many reviews so far, but like I said, it's a pretty new yarn. They are selling it for $4.99 a cake. All right, so let's see. I am going to, here's mine. I just recently pulled this out of the center, and I'm going to tell you, when I first got this yarn and it first came in the bag or in the box, I was not impressed. It is wound very tightly and it feels very hard in the cake. It doesn't feel very pleasant. That being said, it is chain spun, I think is what they call it. So I think it's chain spun. I don't know really how to show you guys that very well. I don't have great lighting, but it is chain spun. I do think that it would be good for bags. Definitely good for bags. And here's the back of the label if anybody was interested in seeing what that looked like. But like I said, I initially have not been very impressed. I've never worked with a bulky 5 cotton yarn before, so this is going to be a new to me kind of experience. But you know, I'm not opposed to cotton. I actually like weight 2 cottons a lot. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, and we're going to work up a swatch and see what we think of it, or at least what I think of it. Probably you guys will be seeing me use this yarn in some stitch tutorials, in some upcoming stitch tutorials. I like to use cotton for my stitch tutorials. I did ask Casey what she thought of it, and she told me that she felt it. She told me that she thought it felt like washcloth yarn. So depending on how it feels when I go to work up with it, work it up, maybe there's a possibility of a washcloth tutorial coming up. I would normally do like a giveaway, but since I'm going to use this for stitch tutorials, I don't want to give something away that isn't new. But maybe I can work up some washcloths for, you know, the kids or something, and I can do a tutorial out of it, something of that nature. I don't think I'll be able to get a full bag out of one of these cakes. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for now, we are just going to work up a swatch. First, I'm going to use a 5.5 millimeter hook to work up a swatch. And then we will check it out with a 6 millimeter hook, because I'm kind of wondering what the drape on this yarn is going to be when using a 5.5 millimeter versus a 6 millimeter hook. So I'm going to get that camera turned around, and I will see you guys here momentarily. Alright guys, so here we are. You can see all those different colors. It's quite lovely in a cake, but we're going to see what it looks like after working up a couple of rows of single crochet, and then maybe we'll do some half double and some double. I don't know, we'll see. So I am using first the recommended hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter. It's my severely damaged Kiwi crochet hook. He has managed to chew the wing off. Recently, he's managed to chew the flowers here and here off. He also put a little nick in it. I'm going to have to order another one of these and put it away where it doesn't get used. So I think I'm going to do, yeah, see, this already feels very tight to me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Yeah, it feels very tight. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, it already feels very tight to me just doing the chain stitches. So I don't think this is going to have a lot of drape unless we size up a lot. It feels very stiff when I'm working with it. It's not a soft yarn. It's definitely something that you would use maybe for home decor, baskets, maybe bags. I mean, it's very strong, so you could definitely use it for bags that you'd use on a regular basis. But if you were going to make a garment with this yarn, I would suggest sizing up substantially, because it does feel very stiff. I can already tell there's not going to be a lot of drape. Probably when I go to use this for stitch tutorials, I will probably be using maybe a 6 or 6.5 millimeter, maybe even larger, just because I like for my pieces to have a lot of drape. Even if it is in a stitch tutorial. Like I said, this is very stiff to work with. I'm not saying that it's, you know, that I do or I don't work with, or that I do or don't like it. I feel like there could be circumstances that I really like it, but just working this swatch up, I don't know. Again, I've never worked with a weight 5 cotton or cotton blend, so I mean, I typically don't work with weight 5s to begin with. So there's the first row. Chain 1 and turn. I'm going to work another row of single crochet. We've got some I think this is going to be a little hard on the fingertips. And probably the wrist at some point. It keeps wanting to wind up on itself as I'm pulling it out of the cake, and I'm assuming that's because it was wound so tightly into a cake. Yeah, I wouldn't use this other than for maybe bags or baskets. I might make some washcloths out of this, but I'm not caring for it very much. It's really rough on the hands. Maybe when I switch up to a 6mm hook, it will be less hard on the hands and fingertips, but I'm not really caring too much for this yarn. That is, of course, my personal preference. You know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and don't take my word for it. You guys, you know, check it out for yourself. If you like it, great. I'm gonna switch to half double crochets. So I'm gonna chain 1 and turn. Yeah, I definitely, you guys try this yarn out yourselves and let me know what your thoughts are. But I can tell you right now, as far as crocheting with it, it's not really getting any better. I sort of feel like I'm crocheting with rope. I do love the color, that red color that we're working with right now. I do like that. I really think this yarn, I don't know, I really liked the knitted swatches far better than I liked the crochet swatches on the website. Yeah, see, I can already feel right here in my thumb where it's starting to get tired. I like that marled look though. I'm going to go ahead and move on to double crochets. So we've got 2 rows of single and 1 row of half double. I'm going to go ahead and move on to double crochets. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn. Pull some more yarn out. Benjamin is going to just be thrilled to have more yarn to wind for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 rows of the double crochet just because the swatch that was on the website was done, it looked like, in double crochet. It still doesn't have a lot of drape. I would use a bigger hook with this yarn, much bigger than a 5.5 millimeter. Whoop. Or how about instead of doing another row of double crochet, maybe we could do what are they called? Baubles? Clusters? Is that what they're called? So I'm going to chain up 2. Let's go 1, 2, 3. I'm only going to do a 3 bobble. I think usually people do 5. Maybe I'll do 5. I'll try. This feels really hard to work with. Can't remember if they call these baubles or clusters. Alright, so we're just gonna, then we're gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and skip this next stitch. And we'll put another one in that stitch there. Two, 3, 4, 5. I should have changed 2 there. And chain 1. So you can see what they look like with the baubles. That little cute little change. I'm coming up on the first color change. So I'm going to go ahead and do this row of baubles. 1, 2, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is, like, you can see where the color change is very slightly, where it changes from like the reddish color to the purple. There are a little bit of like fraying, I guess you would call it, but nothing that would show up in your work. I'm wondering if that probably is not the case for each of the color changes. So that's 4, 5. Go ahead and draw through. Chain 1, skip 1, and I'll put another bobble right here. I think it's a bobble. I think bobbles and clusters are the same thing. I think it's the same, different names for the same stitch. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments. 3. That's 4. And 5. Chain 1. Skip 1. Yeah. 2, 3. It's 4. 5. Okay. I am going to stop right here because I'm actually starting to feel it like all the way up here. So I did 2 rows of single crochet, a row of half double crochet, a row of double crochet, and then these are some bobbles. You can see what they look like on this side. I know some people like to push them forward like that. Could do that with them. But yeah, it's really wearing my thumb muscles, I guess, right here. And you can see it's a very stiff piece. Like if you were going to be making a bag or, you know, a basket or something, yeah, definitely go for the 5.5 millimeter hook. I am actually going to frog this, and I'm going to maybe work up a swatch in a 6, or no, I might even go bigger than a 6. I might find my 7 millimeter hook and work up a swatch to see if I can get some kind of drape. You know, I like to make garments and wearables, so you know, I'm gonna see if I could get some sort of drape to this yarn, because as of right now I don't see how it has any drape. It does feel like, it kind of feels like I'm working with rope, to be honest. I mean, it's smooth, but it's not soft. It's, to me, it's not something that you'd make home decor with. You'd make baskets, you'd make bags, you know, maybe a beach bag with, something of that nature. But I am gonna, off screen, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a much larger hook and work up a swatch, see if I can get some drape into the swatch, and then I will meet back up with you guys and show you what the second swatch looks like. Alright guys, so I'm back. I actually jumped up all the way to an 8 millimeter hook. This is my owl hook. And I jumped up to an 8 millimeter hook from a 5.5 millimeter hook. Now that gave my swatch a lot of really nice drape. And once I got a row or two in, it was less straining on this part of my hand. You know, as I was working this piece, like you can see, like it's got a lot less stiffness to it. If I was gonna make anything out of this, I would use at least an 8mm hook. In fact, while I was working this piece, this little swatch up, I was thinking maybe like a cute little mesh bikini cover. You know, Casey's got a real pretty blue bathing suit. I was thinking that this yarn with the blue in it would be a cute yarn to make like a mesh bikini cover, just like maybe something that just is real simple, worked from the top down. Is what came to mind. Just doing chain stitches, single crochet, maybe some V stitches, you know, just different variations on mesh stitches, I think would be good. So maybe that's what you guys can look forward to in the near future, is a tutorial on maybe a simple little, just a bikini cover with this yarn. I don't usually do home decor or baskets or bags. I think a 5.5mm is too small to be working up this yarn. It's very straining on the hands. I will say that while this red color here at the bottom and this purple color were very rough on the hands, when I got to the green, it was much smoother and much easier on my skin. I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it's just because, you know, it's recycled cotton. Maybe the color has something to do with it, the dyes or something. I'm not really sure. But, you know, I like it if I can use a larger hook. I don't mind it at all. I didn't mind it at all while I was using the 8mm hook. The 5.5mm hook, I did not like at all. So yeah, definitely consider that when you guys purchase this yarn. You know, I am probably, I really like the idea of designing a bikini cover or something for Case with this yarn. I think she would really like it. Something that's very mesh, because I think the mesh will give it even more drape than what this has. You know, I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this yarn. Let me know if I can improve my yarn reviews. I am going to go play with the idea of designing a bikini cover with Casey now. If nothing else, it has inspired me to try to do something with it. So there's always that. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I will see y'all in my next video. Not sure which one that's going to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this yarn review, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye!